Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Coming back at you with another video. Today is March 9th, 2021. It's a beautiful day up here in Michigan. Oh my goodness. I think it's going to hit the 60s today. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so hot I had to take my coat off. You're having a heat wave. Ooh, it's beautiful. Spring is around the corner. It's coming. Thank God. Mm-mm-mm. Hoping everybody's having a blessed day. Hoping the weather is nice where you're at. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys caught the interview with Oprah with Marilyn Markle. Is that her name? Marilyn Markle. I don't know if you guys caught the interview. Meghan Markle. Did I say Marilyn? Meghan Markle. With Oprah, it was very, very. I just been catching bits and pieces. I haven't caught the whole interview. I'm trying to get because I don't have my cable right now, so I've been going on YouTube and I've been getting bits and pieces of it. So hopefully, eventually, they'll put the whole thing on YouTube and I'll be able to watch the whole thing. And I can't get CBS. It's one of those local channels, but somehow the signal doesn't reach my house. So for that particular network, so. But for what I hear of it and what little bit I've seen, she's talking about how there's racism. Racism is one of the reasons why they left. Her and Prince Harry left. And she was talking about how they were worried about when she was pregnant with her baby. They were worried about the race, the color of the baby, because she's biracial, so they were worried about what color the baby was going to be. And when she told Oprah that, I don't know if you guys did get a chance to catch the look on Oprah's face when she said that. The look on Oprah's face was priceless. Oprah was like, she's like, what? Yeah, while she was pregnant, they was concerned about the baby's color and how it was going to look. And I'm shocked, but I wasn't shocked, because I knew when they first got married. I did a little recap video of it, and I was happy for her, but at the same time I had mixed emotions. I was happy, but I knew she was gonna go through. I knew that they was gonna take her through a lot of stuff up there, because I knew that those people were racist. I knew they were. And not only that, they got some other issues going up there too. I commend Harry, her husband, for protecting her, because he said had to get her away from there because he wanted to protect her and his child, and that's what a husband is supposed to do. I take my hat off to him, well, my turban off to him, and that's what a husband is supposed to do. A husband is supposed to protect his wife and child. He did what a husband is supposed to do. And he know what he had to go through with his mother, Princess Diana. He knows what his mother had to go through. He don't want his wife to go through the same thing. Anyway, make a long story short, I want to talk about the one drop rule. Colorism. Well, colorism that's going on in the black community, but the one drop rule. I don't know what this sounds at. I thought America was bad. I think they a little worse over there. They worried about what color the baby gonna be. And I don't know if you've seen the baby, but the baby, when I first seen the little baby, when they first showed the little baby, I was looking for his color. I couldn't find his color. I'm like, oh, that baby's gonna pass for white. Because she's very fair. She's biracial. She's very fair-skinned herself. And the problem with biracial people, particularly when they're more on the fair-skinned side, they're too light. Black people don't consider them black because they're very light. But the white people don't consider them white because they're not, because they have 50% African DNA in their body. They have. So it's like, that's the thing that biracial people have to go through. They're not really accepted on either side. They're too light to be black. They're too dark to be, and she's very light. To be perfectly honest, I thought she was white at first. I thought she was European at first. I didn't even know when they said she was biracial. I'm like, huh? I didn't. I honestly thought that she was European at first. I really didn't know she was biracial. But the biracials, it can vary. Some black biracials are my complexion. Believe it or not, some of them are my complexion. And black people, we come in all different races. There's people that I know that have two black parents. They have two black parents, and they're very, very light skinned. They can pass for a biracial person. So I mean, it just we all mixed anyway because of slavery. We all mixed up. Black people are all mixed up anyway because of slavery. Because the masters impregnated the slave women, and they had babies. So we're all mixed up because of race, because of slavery. The best part, a lot of white people don't realize. A lot of white people have black DNA in them. They don't realize it though. See, they don't know that. But if they get one of them DNA tests and check, and they're running around here talking about they don't like black people, get you a DNA test. I bet you 9 times out of 10 they got some African DNA in them. See, we're all mixed up because of slavery. See, so this stuff with color is just ridiculous. But it just seems like they're worst with it over there. Plus, it's supposed to be the royal family. I think when it comes to God, Jehovah God, he doesn't care whether they're royal or not. You know what I mean? So that's neither here or there. But she was talking about everything that they were putting her through and racism and everything, and then they come out with claims and say she was being a bully. I might wind up talking about that. That's going to be a whole nother video, because they say that about black women. That's typical. That's very typical of what they say. They always say that we're bullies, we're aggressive, we're mean, we got bad attitudes. But that's going to be a whole nother video. I'm going to talk about that in a whole nother video. I don't believe a word that they're saying. I believe everything that she's saying, because I already knew that. I was in my spirit. I knew that's what she's going to go through when she got married. And this is the year 2021. And it's really sad. I really, really feel bad for her. She said she went through so much that she wanted to commit suicide. And it's really, really sad that in the year 2021, we still have to deal with these things. It's really sad. And it just seems like it's worse over there than here, because the European people, Caucasian people, are a little bit more accepting of there's more biracial people here. So it's a little bit more, it's more accepted here. But it's still the one drop rule. They still have the one drop rule. It's still full effect even in the United States. And I was kind of going back and forth with a lady on one of the a Facebook posts. I forget which one it was. I think they were talking about that. And I speak the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to tell it like it is. So I just told it like it was, the one drop rule. And she was like, oh, there's no one drop rule. And of course I got accused of being racist because I was speaking the truth. Anytime a black person speaks the truth about racism, you get the script flipped on them, and they get accused of being racist, So, she went back. I kind of went back and forth with her a little bit because I was trying to educate her. And it's very frustrating because some of them you can't educate them, because there's this, they refuse to acknowledge And that's part of the problem in this country that we're having, because a lot of people will not acknowledge that we have a serious race problem in this country. It's like a horrible cancer that, and a lot of people won't acknowledge it. And that's part of the problem. And so, but the one drop rule, even though biracial people it's more accepted here, there's still the one drop rule. Now we know that black people don't get treated the same as white people because of our history in this country. And you know that there's certain privileges that white people have. There's certain, now they think it's about money. It's not just about money. It could be something as simple as being able to walk through a store without somebody following you and think you're going to steal something. You have the privilege of being able to walk into a store without having somebody worrying about you stealing something. It could be something like that. And there's all kinds of other things and factors involved in that. So it's just not about money. And so there's privilege in so many other ways. See, being able to drive through a neighborhood without having the police called on you because you look suspicious because you're black. Yeah. I was, when I was doing home care, case in point, I got another case in point coming up. Case in point, true story. The home care agency sent me to this client's house. It was way in the country. Way in the country. Matter of fact, I've never even been on the street. And the client's house was like, the reason why I couldn't find it was because it was up on a hill. It's like deep in the country. It was up on a hill and it was back. Okay, so I'm driving up and they said that it was on this road. So I'm driving up and down the road trying to find this client's house. So finally this white guy stops me. And thank God he was nice about it. Thank God he was nice about it. He was asking me, can I help you? Or were you? And I said, well, I'm trying to, I told him the agency I worked for and I was trying to find a client. I had to tell him why I was in the area, because it was it was deep in the country, predominantly white area. So after calling the agency back 2 or 3 times, they finally told me they didn't give me detailed instructions. And one time I think I went to the wrong house. I mean, did I do it that day? It was another time I went to the wrong house. So I finally had to break down and tell them, I am a black woman. You guys got to give me more detailed directions. I said, because I am a black woman in a predominantly white area. And that's not safe. That's not safe for me. They act like they didn't understand what I was talking about. Finally, one of them connected the dots and said, okay, I understand what you're talking about. I'm a black woman in a predominantly white area knocking on doors. I said, that's not safe. You guys got to give me more detailed directions here, because that's not safe for me, So I'm, because he stopped me because I'm driving up and down the street trying to find this address. So that's what I'm saying. This is the things that we have to deal with as black people. And the one drop rule is still full in effect. Another case in point. If a black person don't have European features, no matter how light they are, if they don't have European features or they have a little bit of color, then they're going to be considered black. Doesn't matter if you got one white parent, you're going to be considered black. Back when I was working at the daycare, we had 2 young ladies. They were named Ashley. Both of them were named Ashley. We had 2 young ladies named Ashley. One of them was, she was brown complected, African hair. The other one was biracial and had long, mixed people hair, straighter hair. She had nice hair, long, straight, and she was very fair complected. Matter of fact, she wasn't too much. She might have been maybe a shade darker than Megan. True story. I was talking to one of my coworkers. One of the Ashleys had hit her car in the parking lot, and she was going back and forth with her about her paying. She had dented her car, and so she was going back and forth with her about paying for the damage. And she kept saying Ashley. Mind you, we got two Ashleys. She kept saying Ashley hit my car. She don't want to pay for it. Now, we talking back and forth. So I asked her, I said, which one? I said, which Ashley? Because I didn't know which one she was talking about. I said, which one? The black one? That was exactly what I said. And she said, well, they're both black. I was like, whoa, that put something on my mind when she said that. Because mind you, one of them was maybe a shade lighter than Megan and had the long, mixed people hair. The other one was about maybe she was brown complected, maybe a couple of shades lighter than me, but not quite light. She wasn't high yellow, light brown with African hair. So that's why I said the black one. What I really should have said, which one? I didn't know how to say that, so I just said the black one. And she's like, both of them are black. So that put something on my mind. I think when she said that put a lot on my mind. I'm like, wow, it really is the one drop rule. And this young lady was very light skinned. It was very clear she was biracial. So it doesn't matter. The one drop rule. A lot of black people, and there a lot of white people don't believe it's real, but it's real. If you do not have European features, if you don't have the European hair or eye color or skin, you are considered black. It doesn't matter if one of your parents is white. They consider you black. And then this is the problem that biracial people have to go through. It's really sad that they have to go through that, because black people be steady. Some black people, I won't say not some, not all black people say it, but some black people say, well, they're not black. But the white people say they're not white. So they all their life they have to go through with identity problems, trying to find out where they fit in, because they're not fully fitting into the black community. But a lot of black people do embrace biracial people. I consider them black. I consider them black. In Megan's case, I actually thought she was European at first, because she didn't look. When I first seen her, I didn't think she looked black. But then after they said she was biracial, I got to looking at her and I was like, oh, okay. I can see it now. But at first I couldn't see it, So the one drop rule is really, really, a lot of people don't believe it. But it's really in full effect. And it determines how you are going to be treated. See, if you don't pass for white back in slavery, if a black person was able to pass for white, they went on and passed. If they were light enough to pass for white, because that means their life was going to be easier. They didn't have to go through some of the things that the other black people had to go through. So if you mixed, even if you're only 25%, because some biracial people, they got one parent that's half black and half white, and the other parent is white. Got two white parents. So that means they're only 25% black. But if they look, if they got a little bit of color going on, or their hair texture, if they can see that you got some black in you somewhere, they gonna say you black. Even though you're more technically you're more white. If you are 75% white, then you're more white than you is black. But if you look like you got some black African features, if you look like you got some African features, they gonna say you black. And that's the dilemma. So I just really think it's unfortunate that, and over there it just seems like it's worst. They worried about the color of the baby, because what they're concerned about how it's gonna look. They need a little color in that family. They need a little African in there. They need a little Africa in there. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. So I just be so glad when we can live in a system where, and that won't happen until Jesus come back. When Jesus come back, we probably won't even we could probably look at somebody and won't even know what color they are. You know what I'm saying? So I just be so glad when we can live in a world where our race won't matter. It won't matter. The person, you will be judged by the content of your character or who you are on the inside. And it's and that's the thing for me that bothers me more than anything about racism. Is like, because black women, we're practically walking stereotypes. I'm gonna be 100. We're walking stereotypes. It's like, I did a video and I read off like 40 different stereotypes that they have about black women, and there's even more than that. So we're literally walking stereotypes. So it's like, you walk into a room as a black woman, a whole bunch of different things are perceived about you before you even open up your mouth, before people get the opportunity to even get to know you. And I think that's what bothers me more than anything about racism. Is like, it doesn't matter how good of a person I am, people are still going to perceive me a certain way because I'm a black woman. And the sad part about it is we're getting that from our own men. And that's a whole nother video. Yes, we're dealing with that, with coming from our own men, And so all these negative stereotypes and everything. And so that's what bothers me more than anything about racism. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know what really bothers you about racism and colorism and the run drop rule. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Both sides. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Hopefully one day we can live in a system where we don't have to worry about this anymore. I'm going to keep Megan and Harry in my prayers, because I just wanted to cry listening to her. It kind of hurt my heart, that, she had to go through that, all because they loved each other. It shouldn't matter what race two people are. At the end of the day, God created us all. If two people love each other, then they should be together. Regardless of whether it's a black man, a white woman, or a black woman, a white man, or whatever, as long as two people love each other, that's all that matters. And then you get all this, then you got to go out into the world and you got to deal with all this stuff coming at you. It's and then you have children. Your children have to suffer because they're from both sides. You know what I mean? So it's really sad. It's really sad. But the one drop rule is still, it's still in full effect. Unfortunately. So hit me up in the comment section. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and share button, and hit that notification bell. So every time I do a video, you'll be notified. And until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet Jen.